What stood out to you the most in Michigan's 30-27 win on the road in Lincoln?
A lot of slop on both sides. Uh, what stood out to me the most is probably that Michigan seemed to have a more coherent vision, knowing they weren't going to get a ton through the air from Bryce Underwood, even though they took shots. And there's obviously an internal knowledge that you're not going to be able to lean on receivers and tight ends at this juncture with Bryce Underwood. That your success is going to come on the ground and defense. And they're just like, this is who we are. We're not going to play conservatively, but we're going to lean into who we are.
Yeah.
Whereas Nebraska seems a lot more disjointed. The offense seems like, hey man, if Dylan Raiola can figure out his feet and square up to make an interesting throw, there's something there because they can run the ball some. But I just at the line of scrimmage, what stood out to me was just Michigan was so much better than Nebraska. And we're in how many years in are we of the Matt Rhule era? And there's just like the offensive line got overwhelmed, the defensive line got overwhelmed by Michigan on the ground. And even the score was closer than it actually was, especially since Nebraska got a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. But there's just something so arrhythmic about Nebraska's offense against a good team, and that's sort of me putting it nicely. I I watched this game and I was like, man, I feel like I want to send Nebraska fans snacks. Like I felt bad that
Yeah.
Nebraska fans are losing close. It seems like it's winnable, but the manner in which they lost, there's just a lot of sloppiness and disjointedness from drive to drive. It was a lot of just sympathy, I think, is what stood out to me. And
Well,
I was super impressed by Michigan on the ground and just the big bodies.
I mean, we don't compare our notes before we do this. You do your thing, I do
Yeah,
mine, and then this is the first that we're
we hash it
talking it
out.
through. And I jotted down the same thing, that it was a 3-point game that honestly felt like it wasn't a 3-point game.
Yeah.
And there might be some Nebraska people out there who disagree with it, but I just felt like the
I
vibe
was
of
seeing
this.
people say that Dylan Raiola was pretty good. I was like, "Guys, watch other quarterbacks. Watch other good quarterbacks.
I just
He's
felt like
fine."
I just felt like watching this game that Michigan was far and away the better team. And maybe it was because they had more of a sense of self.
Yeah,
They had that vision for what they wanted to be. The truth is that Michigan had early opportunities, but their receivers let them down through the air.
yeah.
They had one drop pass, so a beautiful throw from Bryce Underwood to, I think it was Channing Goodwin, in the corner of the end zone, which is there, and he couldn't bring it in. And there was another one where it was a wide receiver pass where they had a guy wide open
Correct, and he was underthrown.
and he
Yeah.
shorted it. Yeah. So like you can see the potential as a thrower from Bryce Underwood, but he's not a finished product by any means. I think he threw for like 105, had a fumble,
No,
right?
they had like a miscue where two guys were going deep in the same exact area down the sideline, and it's very much a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. He's very green. You can clearly see the tools. He's going to be good. We
Yeah.
we can acknowledge that much. I don't think this is a great offense at Michigan, but I think they've got the personnel to be
No.
good at doing what they did today.
Yeah.
If they can play this style football against you, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to win or they're going to be within the number.
Yeah.
Right? The game plan here was to try and bully Nebraska, which is what they did on both sides of the ball. They were able to get some really big runs. Justice Haynes, another like huge game. Michigan ended up running for almost 300 yards. They averaged close to 9 per carry.
But they
Matt
weren't getting touched on some of those long
No,
runs.
and this goes back to one of the things we talked about on the preview, where we talked about Nebraska yards allowed before contact.
Yeah.
Right. I was quick to bring that up about other teams, and it didn't really apply in the way
Oh,
that I thought
Indiana,
it
right?
could.
You're
Yeah.
Indiana, you're like, "Okay, hear me out.
Yeah. No,
Indiana is gonna struggle in a very specific." Nope.
we're not going there. But in this one, you were right to bring it up
Yeah.
because it did come back to bite Nebraska. Matt Rhule even brought it up when he talked to our friend Jenny Dell,
Yeah.
that they couldn't stop the chunk plays on the ground. It was killing them. And then on the flip side, one of the things that I think we could really hang our hat on with respect to Michigan coming into this season was we knew they were going to be good up front, or at least in the front seven, right? Like lost
Sure.
a lot, but still enough back that we felt like they would be pretty formidable. They owned Nebraska's front.
Yeah.
7 sacks. They held Nebraska to 2 of 13 on third downs. It's really tough to mount the charge against a team that can bully you like that. It just is dispiriting, to say the least. So I give Michigan a lot of credit for the way they went in there and won. This was a game that I thought there was a ton of pressure on Nebraska, and I don't know if I don't know. I need to go back and rewatch this one, I think, to fully develop my feelings. Maybe we can talk about that on Tuesday. But for now, I come away feeling the same as you. Like, this wasn't as close as the final score indicates. Nebraska did get one on a Hail Mary, and it felt to me for the overwhelming majority of this game like Michigan was the dominant side.
Michigan also almost gave it away with a dumb taunting penalty, a sideline taunting penalty. Um, yeah, and also like if you just look forward, Michigan has like 1.5 quality defenses left on their schedule. Like you got to give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt that it's more than 1.5, and that's Ohio State and USC in my eyes right now. And so they might be able to get away with this for a while, which is kind of crazy.